I remember being 11 and my mom calling me a fast-tailed hussy because the mom of my first crush called her to tell her I'd called her son. I remember being 14 and having a teacher who hated me and singled me out for being disruptive in class for crying when I found out that a friend had been shot over the weekend, even though two other classmates were also crying. But somehow my crying caused her to call my mama for a conference, which pissed my daddy off. So he told me when I asked to try to explain what happened that you always have an explanation, but you don't ever do right. I remember being 20, telling my parents I was planning to divorce my first husband a few months after marrying him because I realized I'd been unfair and only married him to get away from them, and he didn't deserve that. They told me I was scared and selfish, and my mom basically stopped talking to me unless absolutely necessary, even though I was living in their house. I remember the moment I realized that not only had I spent my entire childhood trying to earn my parents' love, I took the same mindset into friendships I don't even have anymore. Because the minute I woke up and decided to stop begging for love, stop shrinking myself into bite sized pieces that they could digest and be comfortable with, stop dimming my light into what was easiest for my loved ones to see and feel and be around, stop allowing them to make me the butt of every joke by accepting that I was too sensitive. And somehow it was all love. It wasn't love. It was bullying. It was emotional abuse and manipulation. It was a strategy planned by the devil to make me experience rejection by those I love the most. So I begged to be seen and validated, only to make sure that the people I was begging for it from would continue to love me just enough to keep me hanging on, even after they rejected me and mocked my dreams and ignored my feelings and ignored my requests for business support while publicly giving that exact support to people they just met. The enemy had a strategic method designed to destroy me one rejection at a time, from one loved one at a time, until I showed up as not only a shell of myself, but a broken, angry woman performing the qualities of a good wife while being the same emotionally detached and manipulative mom I promised myself I'd never be, using the silent treatment and withholding my affection because I was angry at the audacity of my kids to have a freedom and a joy as kids that I never got to have. So you see, I created the unloved daughter for me because I was living in a life full of answered prayers, but I was somehow still miserable because I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I was really supposed to do with my life. I didn't know why God kept waking me up every morning just to be angry and depressed all day long. I didn't even know why He gave me this good life that I could see was a good life just for me to hate it and not understand why. This healing journey was for me. It was God whispering to me what I needed to uncover and walking me through every painful understanding, making me sit in my childhood memories and cry it out before I could even start to peel back the layers and find the real me beneath the residue. And now He has me sharing it with you to help you find the real you beneath the residue, beneath the lies of your past and the pain nobody gave you permission to feel, let alone speak about, because you bet not say nothing bad about your mama or your daddy, because they sacrificed everything for you and you better be grateful. And you should. And you should also be able to face those childhood demons, uproot them one by one, and come out as the person God predestined you to be, free and abundant, and finally walking in the life you hoped for but didn't think would actually come true for you. I'm sharing the Unloved Daughter healing journey with you because traditional Christian healing methods take you on days or weeks of fasting and prayer, which I'm not against because I fast and I pray. But those other programs tend to focus on deliverance and taking great care to make sure that every avenue you travel towards your healing is biblically honoring to your mother and father without giving you what I give, which are the tools to hold the mirror up to your face and see the younger version of you who went through a thing you couldn't explain and had no permission to express, and then grow that version of you up to be able to walk hand in hand with the healed version of yourself who understands where the hurt came from and how to walk through it to the other side, full of faith, forgiveness, and fortitude. My 40-day program teaches you how I unpacked, unlearned, and unbecame or stopped showing up as the parts of my trauma that had been determining my identity. How I overcame the fear of dishonoring my parents and walked into the life God had for me. How I learned to give myself permission to heal and be who God meant for me to be, despite the feelings of those around me, while also giving myself permission to be truly loved by the people who decided to stay in my life. How I learned to be emotionally intelligent and aware enough to be accountable, set boundaries, forgive, release toxic loyalty, and move forward in life away from the people who didn't have the capacity or the desire to love the healed version of me. How I learned what self care looked and felt like for me and prioritized those things over the suggestions of what society said self care should be, and how I use my personal prioritized self care to take off my superwoman cape and finally start to live a soft life. The purpose of the Unloved Daughter healing journey is not to give you a free pass to bring up all of your past pain so you can have the pleasure of dishonoring, discrediting, and disrespecting your parents and all that they were able to do for you, but to teach you how to find the parts of you that you lost while living in survival mode. Take it all back and stop living in secret misery. These women whose testimonies are being listed anonymously because whether you've experienced it or not, there can be a lot of shame associated with healing your mother wounds because people believe you shouldn't talk bad about your mama no matter what happened in your childhood. And if you were raised in the church, they will tell you that you're being blasphemous and disrespectful and not following the commandments without even knowing what my program entails. But that's another story for another day. These women all used my exact 40-day program and learned not only how to heal the parts of their heart that have been broken and ignored for decades, but also how to shed the residue of pain and shame to discover who they were truly meant to be and then begin walking in that truth and their authenticity. In the description box below, you'll find links for 2 of my previous videos that will give you a total of 15 ways to start healing your mother wounds today, plus 5 ways to start walking in your transformation, and 3 bonus activities I share with my Unloved Daughter and Father's Diamond students. You'll also find the links to download the free preview of the Unloved Daughter, as well as the link to purchase my exclusive birthday bundle that has both the Unloved Daughter 40-day self-guided healing journey and the Father's Diamond intensive follow-up program with access to the video guides, all for $300 off for a limited time only. Until next time, y'all stay blessed.